Hi. How to recession-proof your fundraising program. Are you ready? That's the topic today. It's in the news every day. Bank failures, both in North America and in Europe. Increased unemployment. Start looking carefully at those unemployment numbers. They're going to surge. It's in the news. 10,000 layoffs here, 5,000 layoffs there. That's a trend that's exacerbating. Precarious worldwide lack of liquidity. The money supply has shrunk. Credit has shrunk. This is all signs of an impending severe recession. Severely inverted investment curves. That's the sophisticated world market stating clearly what's going to happen in the next 4, 6, 12 months. This begs the question, how do we fundraise in this environment? And are you ready? I recently did a series of videos on a book by William Strauss and Neil Howe called The Fourth Turning. Fourth Turning's a book that describes a historical pattern of societal cyclical expansion and contraction. And the fourth turning is a time of dramatic contraction. The last fourth turning was the Great Depression in the 1930s. We are positively into that extended period of contraction now, and the upcoming impending recession is leading us directly into that period. Hang on, folks. We're into it. It's time to then revisit that section of those videos that we talked about what we can do as fundraisers and as nonprofits to get ready for an extended, severe recession that is now already upon us. Let's jump into the video. You'll hear reference to the book, The Fourth Turning. That's fine. Just listen to how we can get ready and seriously consider a lot of those things that came up on fundraising and what we can do in this time of severe recession. Let's listen. Hi. In the last video, we talked about the book, The Fourth Turning, and what the forecast would be for the Anglo-American society for the next 3 to 7 years. We were left with two questions. What has this got to do with fundraising? And how can we prepare as fundraisers for the fourth turning that is unfolding before us? There's a crisis in the next 3 to 7 years. Successful fundraising will be challenging and will look very different. The financial world is already severely challenged. In this video, we're going to look at how we fundraisers can respond to this challenge and what steps are required for us to be successful in the future. Let's turn to it now. First of all, I'm Ken. This is the Empowerment Dialogue for Fundraisers YouTube channel. This channel is dedicated to empowering fundraisers to empower prospective donors to fulfill their philanthropic desires. We do that by bringing up very controversial topics. We respond to each other. Give me your comments, give me your challenges, and we keep working at it together. There's a subscribe button. Please press it. Give us a thumbs up. That helps YouTube spread the word about this channel for fundraisers. What the challenges are, let's look at it now. Here's the first. The challenge is we're entering a time of great change and unknown future for fundraising and charities. What can we do? First thing we can do is read the book. Get a hold of the book yourself, The Fourth Turning. There's going to be a massive challenge to fundraising, requiring total organizational response. Start this discussion then within your organization. Be an expert. Raise questions. Ask the questions at the highest level of management and volunteer leadership. You can be the spokesperson, create the conversation, start talking about it. Insist that every conference we have, put this on the table. What's the future hold for us, and how can we, as a profession, respond? There's growing mistrust in institution and therefore large and small charitable institutions. The answer to prepare is to become totally mission-focused. Bring your mission to life. It is why you get support in the first place. Tell the stories. Engage in dialogue about those stories with supporters so that they understand that your organization is the fulfillment of the mission and you're not an institution. Operate with crystal clear accountability that's being asked for, and that helps minimize the growing mistrust. Always create a feedback loop to demonstrate the impact that every gift has on the mission. Focus on local community, taking care of things closest to home. People will start to think more locally. Develop personal engagement with everyone who cares about your mission. Find ways to talk to everyone. Treat the group as a community of individuals. Use that language. Train the whole fundraising team on human connectivity skills. This is your future. Redefine stewardship then to include personal interactions 4 annually, if you can do it. Listen to how your donors want impact your mission. Get into that dialogue. Set up clear measurements of stewardship and keep enhancing. Have them keep getting better. If you're telling stories, tell local stories. Take the mission and localize it as much as you can. There will be changing values to an expanding sensitivity to manipulation, distrust in conventional marketing. We have to be responsive to what donors want, and don't expect them simply to be responsive to what the organization wants. Those days are over. Move away from marketing-driven fundraising towards strategic philanthropy, which is personal philanthropy, leadership, major plan giving, or blended gifts of all of those programs. Your future revenue depends on this. There will be financial upheaval with huge uncertainty. We have to count less and less on annual cash donations. They have been drying up, and they will dry up even more. Learn the technical aspects of gifts of different types of assets. Assets people will have still. Educate yourselves and prospective donors on them, and work with these prospects to use those assets creatively, using the right assets at the right time. Develop the best planned giving program imaginable. Gifts of assets after death will be the legacy that boomers, who hold most of the wealth, will leave behind to the causes they care about. There will be a devaluation in general of assets, equities, property, a devalued dollar. Eat, live, breathe planned giving, including blended gifts of assets during and after lifetime. That's where the future of growth in philanthropy exists. There will be increased widespread poverty with supply chain breakdown, including food supply disruption. During the crisis, you must become the beacon of hope. You have to speak that way, and your organizational values must reflect new societal values that are emerging. Fear will be widespread. Go back to your roots. Pay attention to the generational differences that we will discuss below. Fear for survival, only supporting those closest to you, all of the above. So that was the excerpt. Just to illuminate the point I made during that video, I love this slide. This was research done by Giving USA, and it shows what happens during recessions. This was an eye-opener. This was done right after the global 2007-8 recession to really explain what was happening to fundraising at that time. And if you look at this chart, you can see this is a history of recessions between the years 1966 and 2000 in the United States. What happens during recessions is pretty dramatic. There's only one area of fundraising that grows during a recession, and that is bequest revenue. all the other areas of fundraising are either flat during recession, as corporate is, or it's down, total from individuals, from foundations. You can see what happens during the good times, they're up. But during the bad times, they're all down. Corporate is flat, bequest revenue actually goes up. That's just some insight of what happens during recessions. And historically, it shows us that we better be ready. Is it time to get ready? These things take a little bit of time to prepare and shift strategically. But there's lots that we can do both personally as fundraisers and organizationally as nonprofits. Organizational is a little harder, but you, as it's suggested in that video clip, you can become a spokesperson and start to talk about it. What are we doing? I just heard of 2 organizations, large nonprofits with large budgets, roughly $200 million in revenue. 2 of them have expanded their revenue forecasts for the coming year. Surprised me. It's like their heads are in the sand. It's okay to be optimistic, but you have to plan strategically as well. All the signs are there for a dramatic, hard recession. What are we going to do? We have to step back and carefully look at the news of the day, interpret it, and be ready. Be ready. Don't be caught off guard. So start to talk about this. Contact me. I'd love to talk to you about it. Speak about this within your organization. Show this video clip if you like. Just as a discussion starter. What are we going to do? Are we ready? Are you ready? Now is the time. The recession's upon us, and it's time to react. Thanks for watching. I hope this stimulated some worthwhile discussion. We have some big challenges ahead of us as nonprofits, as fundraisers. How we're going to work with those donors is critical because they're going to be feeling it. It's a challenge for us. I think we're up to it if we're ready. Until the next video, and as always, good fundraising.